All right, good morning, cyber traders. Welcome back on this lovely Wednesday. Tuesday. Wednesday. How should I forget? Today's my wife's birthday. I'd like to wish her a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Debbie. Been just gave her a nice little breakfast, birthday breakfast with the kids. Nice little bottle of champagne. Got to do those things. You want a happy life? Better have a happy wife. That's what was always told to me. So good morning to you, Lewis. Good to see you, Arthur. Good to everybody see everyone. Welcome back on Cyber here on the YouTube and Facebook channel too. Thanks so much to everyone. So anyway, yesterday was actually a really, really fun day. Typically on a Monday, we don't get that much action on certain stocks, but there were a couple of really, really good movers. The market is doing phenomenal. I told you metals are doing really well. You could see gold. This is the stock I told you yesterday to keep an eye on it. Now, obviously, it's on the expensive side, but the silver did pretty well. You could see right here, SLV did really well, making higher highs, almost breaking all-time highs. There's a couple of cheaper ones. SVM is gapped up right now. So, it's funny. You're not hearing too much about it, other than you see some of these commercials on TV. They keep telling you, buy gold, going higher, But you know what? Maybe they're right. Listen, I was always a fan of it. Unfortunately, I've been a fan of it for 10 years, and now it looks like it's starting to get some big traction here. But there are a couple of, you don't have to go out there and buy the actual bullion of it. You could actually just trade the ETFs and stuff like that, and they're doing pretty well regarding the metals. So they're actually doing, really, really, really well. Another stock I wanted to bring up too also is we all, hopefully, it looks like a lot of the whatever happened yesterday with the Democrat convention didn't have any issues. But regardless of that, buy on rumor, sell on news. But I was a big fan when I told you about this because I know that Zoom was going to be a big factor to it. And Zoom yesterday did phenomenal. It was one of the stocks in the morning watch list. Once again, it is expensive too. But I don't know. Even Tesla is doing great also. My God, it's up 1,900. Holy crap. Wow. Thing's unbelievable. So anyway, Zoom, on the other hand, 245 when we talked about it, popped all the way to 260, had a nice push right in the middle of the day, about 11:30. Thing just shot up to 265. Now it's at around 270. Stock is also doing pretty well. Tesla is just literally off to the races. This thing is just like has no mercy. I was actually talking to my brother yesterday, and he told me he jumped in it 2 days yesterday, actually, shockingly. And you know what? Things doing just unbelievable, breaking all-time highs. So, can anyone afford one share? You know what's funny? One share, one lousy stinking share. You think I joke around about it, but one share is going to cost you $1,900. It's one share. People are like, how many shares you bought? Oh, I only bought like 2 shares or 10 shares. Meanwhile, our goal is to trade 1,000 shares, but they're all doing very, very well. And you should be really proud because being in this industry, seeing what's going on, I'm telling you, more people are now starting to come out of the closet and not literally embarrassed to say that they're a trader anymore. People are coming out and say, yeah, I'm a trader. I do it every day. And they're like, really? How you doing? I'm like, well, killing it. But they're like, yeah, I tried. It's not doing too well. Listen, it all comes down to who trained you. And most importantly, are you part of a successful team? Because that's where it all comes about. It's being part of a family, part of a team. And you could see you guys are doing really, really well. But it all leads to what we did yesterday. Yesterday was the beginning of the phase 1 classes here at CyberTrading University. And I talked about this exclusively in the morning that Josh spent a lot of time talking about it. It's 50% of the failure rate. So if you missed it, go back and watch it. Okay. Regarding about tradable and non-tradable. You can't jump into a stock, thinking like, oh, just because it's whatever it is, you got to buy it and know what the risk factor it is. It's like what my priest said about my wife when I first married him. He says, listen, forget about the love, forget about this, forget about the, he didn't want to say the word sex or anything, but he says, listen, you're 2 corporations merging together, so you know what? It's not about today. It's about 10 years from now, because you know what? Marriages are great, but divorce is very expensive, so you want to make sure you're making a good business decision before you get married. Well, stocks is, and you know what? Been married for 23 years and it's working out pretty damn well. I'm very happy, every day with her, and give me 3 wonderful sons. And, and the same thing comes with the stock. You know what I mean? you got to make sure you do your homework before you do it. And it all is part of that phase one lesson. And I know sometimes it's like, can we get into nits and greeny? No, listen, you have to talk about that. It is very, very critical. So anyway, regarding about some of these stocks that are moving, listen, the market's doing great. I know a lot of people are not now scared to come out and, say that, you know what, be proud to say you're a day trader. Be proud to say, yeah, that you're going out there, because when you're trading stocks, like what's going on with the market right now and seeing that, listen, we're almost at 28,000. Okay. We're almost back to where we started before this virus kicked in, is phenomenal. And I'm telling you, I think that we're probably going to be at 32,000 when October comes around. Okay. We'll get a little bit of a crash, but we always have a nice October crash, which is good for volatility, but we're going to have fun going on. But let's talk about what also had some big moves yesterday. So obviously we know this one. It's pretty cool. Where the hell GM come from? General Motors out of nowhere just took off. I mean, obviously they came out with some good news, but GM, I know a lot of you guys, I mean, who would ever think GM? I mean, really? GM? Really? General Motors? I mean, like, really? So anyway, stock did great. Stock did really well. Ferrari also, a lot of these car companies did really, really well. Stock's been a great swing trade. I've been a fan of Ferrari for a long, long time. We made a lot of money on Ferrari. Another stock that's doing well, and it's all piggybacking off a lot of it where the Tesla. NIO never came. Well, NIO's also moving also, which is, remember, this is a copycat of Tesla. So NIO's doing really well too. INO. So keep an eye on that one too. That one, keep an eye on it. What else we traded yesterday? Did pretty well. LODE did pretty well. It had a nice little pop. This is why you can't go broke taking profits. That one did really well. The SRNE, that one popped early in the morning. And you know what? She's back on the watch list again. Stock is also making a big move too. Stock took a big hit. We traded at 770, went to $20, came back down to 10. Now the stock is moving again. Just remember, the stock is a very difficult swing trade. Don't get too cocky and think like, oh, maybe we'll go back to where we traded it. But no, you got to stay away from that. VXRT is another one that we traded yesterday. For some of you missed it, that one, nice, slow, steady, had a couple of little shakes here, did pretty well. And the UBX, that thing was a great short. That thing, what's so funny? I thought we were going to get a dead cat bounce. I actually bought that stock and I got out of it. I sold that right at the high. I bought it at 450. I bought it at 475, and then I sold it around 497, I think it was. And it wasn't breaking it. It wasn't breaking it. It had to break. And listen, I don't have a problem paying more for the stock, and neither should you. It didn't want to break it. Thank God I took that small profit, because look where it would have been. It would have been a huge loss. So it's the one thing we always preach. Don't cry for spilt milk. You can't go broke taking profits. All right. So let's go through the watch list right now, because we do have a couple of stocks that are moving pretty well. We had Plug was, Norma was good too, right? I forgot about that. PLUG. I mean, there's so many of them, there was so many of them. Plug had a really unbelievable pop right here. You can see here, let me just bring this chart a little bit bigger. So you could see that thing just literally just pop from 1120. And then right here at 1130, I don't know, 930, I don't know where the hell this came from. The thing just took off. Then it made a gorgeous Fausto flag right here. And then boom, the thing ran all the way to 2030. Anyway, Plug's going back on the watch list. So anyway, Plug, I believe Plug makes the actual batteries for all those electric cars. So anyway, that's another reason why, if you can't afford the big kahuna, which is Tesla, there's always other things you could trade at side by side. Remember that it's an industry. And then listen, going back to the metals, I mean, we talked about it. Metals are back on the watch list. SLV, GLD. I got it right here on my watch list 3. I'm keeping an eye on them. SVM is another one. I think there's another one too. Yeah. ASM, very cheap, slow, but there's a lot of them out there that are doing really, really well. So keep an eye on your metals, and those are actually doing really, really nicely. Now, I was a fan of the airlines. I don't know what happened with the airlines. All of a sudden, now they crapped out a little bit. And you know what? I guess looking at it, didn't want to break these resistance levels right around 30. I mean, Delta to me is the pioneer of the airline industry. And, next to United, those are probably the biggest ones here in the United States. You could see stock really kind of backed off a little bit. I don't know what the story with that. And, you could see even, I mean, the cruise stocks actually held up pretty nicely. But the airlines, I guess they're losing more and more money every day. Every day, losing more and more money. I guess it's not really working out too well for them. All right. And by the way, don't get confused with TLSA for Tesla. Okay. Some people actually did. And I wouldn't be shocked if it was this time went from 4 all the way to 12. Remember, Zoom had the same thing. People thought ZOOM was Zoom, and that thing ran from like would it ran from 10 to 40, like, oh my God, Zoom is public. This is in Zoom. It was a funny story. So anyway, you got to go back to the YouTube videos and watch it. It's out there. But let's go back and let's talk about what's moving this morning. So anyway, the biggest percentage gainer, we had the stock MICT. I don't know what happened with it. She just fell out of bed. Stock was up pretty big. Was up way more than 100%. I mean, now it's down to about $7. It was up as high as 7. She just backed off. If she keeps building a good support level here and holding pretty strong, I mean, I had it. Did I have it over here on level 4? No, I didn't. I took it down. Sometimes my level 4, when you have too many stocks up, it uses a lot of data, a lot of hard drive on your system. So sometimes I have to X out of them. Let me see what I got here. Okay, so we'll come back to that one. We'll check that one back. What else we got? Zoom is back on the watch list. Okay, let me tell you, Zoom breaks this all-time high. This thing is off to the races, 775. So we're looking really well. So I've been holding it. I held it from the open from yesterday. Now, this is not more of a day trade. Actually, I did 2 trades. I did a day trade. I did a swing trade on this one on Zoom. GRWG. Okay, so this one's pretty good. This one had a nice little push. You could see a stock also. There's another one that was moving really nicely yesterday. And you could see it from 14 all the way to 16. Stock gapped up pretty nicely right here. And, the only thing that I was looking at, there is a bit, it's not a lot. I mean, there was a big seller that got hit right here, right around 1776. And you can see, once you break that, that means that there's a lot of orders out there. So I'm keeping an eye on that big seller right there. If it holds up, this stock could be pretty good. But she's up by 11%. Not bad. NBY. Oops. NBY. That one, very cheap, very inexpensive. 11 million shares traded already in pre-market. It's pretty impressive. But it's got a big resistance levels right around $1.50. Big iceberg order out there. Metal stocks are on the watch list. And a couple of crappy ones. I don't know what happened to these. I know we saw these early. Ford was great after hours yesterday. You could see that thing just literally took off. The stock ran from $1.40 up to $2.80. Now she's backing off. So this one crapped out. I know some of you were looking at this one. I think she's garbage now. The IMBI, another one crapped out. Big winner. She's got a big buyer here at 7. I want to keep an eye on that one. REDU is another one I found this morning. She moved pretty nicely yesterday. You could see a stock was a $3 stock. She's coming up to a very big resistance levels around 7, going back into January. Let's see how she does when she gets to it. You're only 30 cents away. So just be patient. Don't jump into anything, but that one also looks pretty decent. And the RESN, I know what happened to this thing. This thing's crapped out too. This thing was gapped up huge this morning and just crapped out. So there's only a couple of them that I kind of really liked this morning. And you saw, listen, from yesterday's list, but what I put in sooner, everything changed. Is Ford? Yeah, Ford is F. That's Ford. That's Ford Motors. Okay, not FORD. Listen, let's not pull another. Let's not pull another. Zoom. Thinking ZM is that is ZOOM. All right, Forward Industries. That's basically what it is. FOOD. That's right. There you go. Ford. There you go. All right. So anything I'm missing? I did not call out anyone. Any other stocks out there? I think I got them all. No problem. You want to welcome anybody online? Anybody? Anybody on YouTube, Facebook? Anybody here on the Cyber Group room? Excuse me, guys. KSS Yeah, that one's taking a big crap. Kohl's. I was not a fan of Kohl's, but it's a brand name stock. It's probably be a nice little short. I like it. Had a little pop at 21 to 22. You can see it's very volatile. Listen, go back to phase one, lesson one. This has a lot to do with it. Okay, regarding about trades. Yeah, the VBIV. Obviously, that one just came out of nowhere. I know that. You know what? I didn't have it on my list. I took it off, and you know what? It's going back on. Thanks for bringing that up, Leo. Greg, look at all you guys bringing it up. This is what I call teamwork, okay? Let me share this in the cyber group room. I mean, not in the cyber group room. Let me share this in on YouTube, Facebook Live. You see, this is what we train you guys to do. You see how Norman, Patrick, Leo, all of them, they all came out and they brought up, hey, Fausto, look at this, look at that. You know why they know that? I just want to point this out to everybody that's watching this online, because this is what we train you to do. We are a team. We trade together. And that was a great call. And I think you guys doing great on it. It's actually just starting to be number 6 on my watch list. But yeah, and you can see the reason why I didn't find it. It came right after 9 o'clock. So yeah, definitely great call right there. See, you guys are getting better and better at this. All right, guys. So you got about 10 minutes. Let's get ready for the market to open up. A couple of decent stocks. Listen, cyber traders, you see something, you say something. Remember, not everything is moving that we got on this list. I mean, obviously right here, we got the VI. This is probably the nicest one out of them all that's making a nice little pop. But, I know, remember I told you too, for some swing traders and options traders, you want to be a good options trader, you damn well better learn how to trade the stock first, because the movement of the stock that makes an option move. And there's been some really great option plays on these stocks, but you wouldn't know that if you didn't know what the stock was doing. So you got to learn that first. That's how we make money, and that's how we trade. Big buyer right there at at 470 on the VBIV, and you can see just took out the guy on the right. Big seller just got hit. Great sign right there. And so listen, for everybody here watching online, if you want to join us, click on the bottom, register, like us, friend us, and if you want to join us for 1 week and see what it's like to be in a professional trading room, take a shot. The worst thing that could happen is you find out it's not for you, and that's okay. Good luck, everybody. Cyber traders, we'll see you today. Tuesday is Traders Talk. So we'll be back at 11. So don't go anywhere. If you're done for the day, come back at 11 or watch on your phone. You could stream it live. And, it's one of the most popular events that we do in the cyber group room, when we go out there and talk to the students, pick one of you, got your journals out, and just basically educate everyone. Listen, don't learn from mistakes. Learn from other people's mistakes, because you're going to lose. And the only way you're going to learn is you got to make mistakes. And that's the best, and it's better finding someone else's mistakes before you do it. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading. Let's get ready to trade for the open in 10 minutes. All right. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading.